Hello students, welcome to lecture number 7 of BRM. Today we have got our new topic by the name of business research process or research process. In previous classes I have told you that whenever we are having a process, it means that some stages are there. A sequence of activities are there, or sequence of stages are there, or a sequence of steps are there. That is called process. We have also got a research process. It means some important steps which are interlinked with each other are included over here in this process. In this regard, we have got 6 steps or 6 stages. Combining these 6 stages makes the research process. So coming to one by one, we are explaining these steps or stages. Number 1, defining the research objectives. Number 2, planning a research design. Number 3, planning a sample. Number 4, collecting the data. Number 5, analyzing the data. Number 6, formulating the conclusion and preparing the report. Defining the research objective. Research objective means the goal of the research. Why you are conducting your research? Why we are spending our time, money and knowledge for doing a research? Because we have got a specific goal. That specific goal is called research objectives. In previous classes I have told you that we have got a classification of research, and that classification was primary research and applied research. Primary research was about a general problem faced by the society, faced by many organizations. That was called primary research. Or we can also define the primary research from another angle, that whenever we are conducting a research to increase, to add something to the existing body of knowledge, that is called primary research. Then second type of research was applied research. When a problem is faced by a specific organization, we were calling it applied research. Now, in case of applied research, when the problem is general, the problem is specified to an organization, XYZ company is having high turnover rate. That is, you are conducting research for it to know the reason of it. That is called applied research. When you are conducting research for it to know the reason of high turnover rate, actually you are trying to find out the reason, and then based on that reason which you have found over there in the research, managers will be taking a decision. So in case of applied research, the research objective is not that much clear. Why? Because we know the problem, but we don't know that what decision will be taken by the manager when the reason of the problem is understood. But in case of primary research, the objective is very much clear, because it is a generalized problem and we are coming up with a generalized objective or goal of the research. However, whether it is primary research or applied research, objective is very much important. Research objective is very much important to be known or to be estimated, if not very much clear, because all other steps are based on the research objectives. So now we are moving towards second step, that is called planning a research design, or making design for your research. In design, what is over there? We have got 3 major things over there in research design. One is called survey. Second is called experiment. Third is called observation. We are planning a design for our research to collect the data whether by a survey or by an experiment or by observation. Again, the survey is divided into two. One is called questionnaire. We are collecting the data, we are conducting the survey through the questionnaire, or interview. Now, again, the questionnaire is divided into two types. Whether the questionnaire is close-ended or structured. Or open-ended or unstructured. Close-ended or structured, open-ended or unstructured. What is meant by close-ended or structured questionnaire or open-ended or unstructured questionnaire? In close-ended questionnaire, the question is given as well as some answers are also given in optional methods from which the respondent is selecting one answer, like yes, no, agree, strongly agree, disagree, don't know. So this type of questionnaire is called close-ended or structured questionnaire. While open-ended or unstructured questionnaire is the questionnaire in which only question is given and the answer is written over there or given over there by the respondent. So that is called open-ended or unstructured questionnaire. Interview, we have also got two types of interview. One is called intercept interview. One is called intercept interview. Other is called planned interview. What is meant by intercept interview? Intercept interview means random interview. Whoever comes in front of you, you are conducting interview with him or her. That is called intercept interview. While planned interview means that you have already selected respondents for your interview, like you are directly going to BBA class 7th semester to conduct interview with them. So that is called planned interview. Experiment. What is meant by experiment? Experiment is also of two types. Most of the things are of two types over here. Experiment is also of two types. One is called laboratory experiment and field experiment. Like you have studied in school in natural sciences, biology, chemistry and physics, you are conducting some tests, some experiments in laboratory. While for some experiments you are going out to the field, like most oftenly in biology, you are in botany, you are going to the field to check different plants, or in zoology to check different animals in the forest or in the mountains. So that is called experiment. Then we have got observation. Observation is also of two types. One is called participatory observation. Let me write spelling for you people. Most students are having problem with the spelling. Participatory observation. Observation, first we should know the meaning of observation. What is meant by observation over here? Anything, any process to which a person is looking for data collection purpose is called observation. For research purpose, for data collection purpose is called observation. So in participatory observation, what is there? That the researcher is involved in the activity by himself with the respondent. That is called participatory observation. In non-participatory observation, the researcher is not involved with the respondents over there. That is called non-participatory research, non-participatory observation. So whether it is survey, experiment, observation, combinedly we are calling it research designs. We are selecting one of them, how to collect the data from your respondent. Then you are planning a sample. First you should know the concept of sample, then we are going to this stage. Sample, one is called in research, one is called population, other is called sample. What is meant by population? I am giving you one example. Let's suppose we are conducting a research about the problems faced by BBA students, overall BBA students of a country, maybe 1 million, maybe 2 million, maybe 5 lakhs. So this 5 lakh students combinedly we are calling them population, while sample a segment, a representative segment of the population is called sample. Or let's further make it easier for you people over here. Let's suppose there are 5 lakhs BBA students in one country and you are conducting research about the BBA students. It is impossible, or it will take huge time and you need a large amount of money to collect data from all 5 lakhs BBA students, and it seems almost impossible. To make our job easier, we are selecting a small number of representatives from these 5 lakh students. Let's suppose 500 students we are selecting. So these 500 students are representing those overall 5 lakhs BBA students. These 500 students are now called sample. So we can say that sample is a segment of the respondents that represent the overall population. That is called sample. So how we are selecting in sample, in planning a sample, we have got 3 things: sample design, sample unit, sample size. When we sampling design, how we are selecting these people, these 500 students, whether there is probability sampling or non-probability sampling. In probability sampling, you are giving equal chance to each and every respondents. Like you are standing at the gate of university and 500 BBA students, let's suppose you have got 2000 BBA students. So 500 BBA students who are coming first, you are selecting them. It is called probability sampling. Now you have given chance to all 2000 BBA students. Anybody can come first in these 500 students. You are selecting them. Or non-probability sampling means chance, equal opportunity of selection is not provided to all 2000 BBA students, but instead you are selecting some classes over there from whom you are taking these 500 students. So that is called non-probability sampling. That is called sampling design. Sample size, the number of the respondents. I told you 500 BBA students will represent the overall population. So this 500 BBA students is called sample size. Sample unit, one individual of this sample, like one BBA student is the sample unit. So this is called planning a sample. The next step is collecting the data. Obviously based on this design, you are collecting the data through questionnaire or through interview or experiment or observation. But these 3 stages are theoretical stages in which you are making just only plans and designs. But these 3 stages are practical stages. Collecting the data, we are collecting the data based on our sample size and research design. Let's suppose our sample size is 500. In our research design, we have selected questionnaire. So we are distributing 500 questionnaire in BBA students. Then, when we are collecting this data through questionnaire from 500 BBA students, we are analyzing it. For analysis of the data, we are using different types of statistical tests like frequency distribution test, regression, correlation, etc. So different tests based on the nature of that research, we are using a specific test for analysis of the data or analyzing the data. When we are analyzing the data, it means that when the analysis is completed, we will be reaching to a conclusion. Or in other words, we can say that we will be able to find out the solution of the existing problem. When we are finding out the solution of the existing problem, it is called formulating the conclusion. When the conclusion is formulated, obviously, we are making a comprehensive report of this overall process, problem, design, methodology, and conclusion. That is called preparing the report. Why we are preparing the report? To make it easily readable and understandable by all the stakeholders or by all the relevant people or concerned managers, etc. So this is called research process. Thank you very much, students. Be with me for coming classes. Khuda Hafiz.